Welcome, everyone, to a deep look into the paranormal podcast where mystery meets insight. I am your host, Jennifer Wills, with my lovely co host, David Wills. Say hello.
Hello.
Today, we are going to be discussing a beautiful location with kind of a twisted past, but, or I guess you could say twisted past or dark history. But before we do, we want to take a moment. If you or someone you know is suffering or does suffer from mental health crisis, please seek help. You are not alone. There are a lot of resources out there that can help you even through your darkest hours. You just have to hold on and reach out. All lives matter, including your own. Taking it should never be an option, even if you believe there is nothing left for you in this world, because there is. Even if you are feeling at your all time lowest and are hopeless, there is someone out there willing to listen, to help you see the silver lining and that hope at the end of the dark tunnel when you think there is none. Don't give up. You still have plenty of fight and life in you. In it for you, just need some help seeing that. So remember, you're not alone and reach out to your mental health crisis prevention hotline. There are free resources for all to use. This will be also posted in the description for the YouTube feed or episode. We have numbers for Japan as well as the United States. Today's episode is featuring Aokigahara Forest. Do you know about Aokigahara?
I'm going to say what I first said when you brought it up is I did not know it by that name.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you've also been doing a lot of research into this, and you're very excited about it.
Yes.
So
Yes, I am.
I don't want to say anything that you've told me while you were excited because that's not fair. But I did not know it by this name. I, however, know it by its other name.
Which is the only time I'm going to say that name. Just the one time. Um, it is name also known by a couple of nicknames. The Sea of Trees. It is a it is like over 12 square miles, I believe it is, of forest, and it's more infamously known as Suicide Forest.
We're going to be trying to stick to the actual name,
Yes, Ogigahara.
Okiga, Okigahara.
Okigahara.
Right,
Yes. Do you know what this mountain is?
Fuji.
Yes, this is Mount Fuji. The forest is flanking the northwestern side of Mount Fuji on the island of Honshu. Honshu. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. I do
Honshu.
apologize.
It's Honshu. You're right.
Okay. It is thriving and beautiful forest on top of an old lava rock flow, which aids in how lush it is from the minerals within the ground. Um, the last known eruption of Mount Fuji was 864 CE. That's C is in cat, E is in elephant. Let
Okay.
let that sink in. That is long, long time ago.
Yeah. Well,
The forest is roughly 30 square kilometers, which is the equivalent of 12 square miles. It is a popular tourist destination spot and often used for school field trips because of the beautiful scenic walking trails. See, look at that. Isn't that pretty?
yes, it is.
I mean, honestly, it's gorgeous. There is an issue with this forest. It is hard to navigate. Just to give you a heads up. So make sure you know you have either a guide with you or um, someone who kind of knows the trails a bit better if you don't know them. It's not that it's dangerous. It's just you can easily get lost. Um, the one unique thing about it is if you have a compass, okay, and you put it on the
Mm-hmm.
ground, it won't work. If you put it on the ground, it'll spin or won't move at all. But if you pick it up and hold it while standing, it'll work just fine.
I'm guessing there's a high iron content from the lava
It
that
is
flew underneath it.
it is definitely something from the volcanic rock that's causing the interference. Yes.
Yeah, because certain volcanic rock can ping metal detectors.
Yes.
So okay, that's my guess. I didn't know if you had they had an official
Yeah.
reason
No,
for
it
it.
is. It definitely
Okay.
is the volcanic rock. Um,
Ooh.
I'm gonna go over a little bit of the fauna and the flora aspect of the forest, just so you guys can
Mm-hmm.
get a feel of. I'm not gonna tell you all the animals and the plants and stuff like that. I'm just gonna do a handful of each, just a small handful of each. Okay.
Okay.
The Asiatic black bear that we often see in the.
Is that Asiatic?
It's like Asia and then tick. ASIA.
Asiatic. And
Tick.
it sounds weird, but no, you're right.
Yeah. Then the eastern long-fingered bat.
I don't see the bat yet.
Give it a moment.
Up there it is. That is a muscular bat.
Just remember there is a
That
slight delay, so you gotta be patient.
yeah, that looks like a bat that works out.
Mm,
Does it eat bugs or what does it eat?
bugs.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Um, the
Is
raccoon
that a
dog.
fluffy? Okay. Is that a fluffy raccoon?
It's a raccoon dog.
Okay. Okay. It's adorable.
Then we've got the dormouse. That is cute as heck.
Yeah. Why are all their critters fluffy and all of ours are not as bad as Australia? I was gonna
um,
say worse, but then
yeah. Then there's the
it's a
shrew
mole.
mole. Yeah, the shrew mole.
Oh, okay.
Now for some of the flora, there is the Japanese maple.
Okay.
Yes, the that was actually the Japanese cherry birch, but this is a Japanese maple. Then we got the Japanese Andromeda, ferns, of course. Then we've got some liverwort. See, I mean, it's rich in various life, regardless if it's animal and or plant. It has got a wide range of various things, okay? It's also known for its awe-inspiring beautiful caves, some of which are frozen all year round. See?
Did
There's
not know that.
mm-hmm. They're and honestly, some of them you might not even notice because they're just like mild cracks like this, but they go in deep.
Mm-hmm.
I think this would have been like a fissure at one point. Some have man-made walkways like this, so you can get up and down easy because of how
That's
deep.
pretty.
Mm-hmm. Here's one of the frozen ones.
That's super pretty.
Yeah, they're not all the frozen ones aren't just like that, but that was one of the prettiest ones I got. And yes, they do put lights in there so you can see the crystals, and the beauty that they create. Okay. Now, that we've experienced the beauty of Okigahara, we are going to start delving into the darker side of things. Okay?
Okay.
And its twisted past. Um, because what it is notoriously known for, it is actually heavily patrolled on a regular basis for a number of reasons, as well as every point of entry is under heavy surveillance, watching who is going out and who's coming, or who's going in and who's coming out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Posting of signs are located at various points throughout the entire trail system, especially at the beginning of the walkways and nice scenic trails. Um, and they're in a few different languages, strongly suggesting if you're suffering from a mental health crisis to get help immediately. And historically, it is reported to be the home of the Yurai. Don't say the other word that a lot of people say, but Yurai.
You're right. Okay.
They're known as spirits.
Mm-hmm.
In Japanese folk,
Not to be confused with yokai.
no, they are actually considered part of it too.
Well,
But
they
they're
are. I didn't think
they
they were.
they are like a subclass of the Yurai.
Okay. All right.
Um, Japanese folklore Yurai are ghosts of the dead. They're often depicted with unfinished business, unfulfilled love. Let's see here, anger, and are always seen in white clothing. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's see. Sorry, I've got a binder of notes. um, the name Yorai is a combination of the kanji words faint or dim and soul or spirit.
Sounds good.
A lot of people get like tattoos and stuff like that, kanji tattoos, not knowing what they're actually getting, thinking it's strength or something like that, and it ends up being turkey or
Yeah,
something
you gotta be
else.
really careful.
Yes, you got to be very careful on what you get. Um, the Yurei is in in folklore cases are the concept of the Yurei are deeply embedded in Japanese culture by influencing storytelling, art, religious practices, and emotions. Yurei often appear in to those they want to commune with, wearing white clothes and having long, disheveled hair. Not all Yorai are believed to be bad. Some are believed to be watching over and protecting their loved ones, which I think is kind of nice, knowing that you have that kind of guardian angel over you, watching you.
Yeah.
Um, some are known to attack or lure people further into the forest, where they isolate and fill the person with dread and depression.
Okay.
Which can be honestly a scary thought if you think about it. Um, has been known to house will o' the wisps, which are like little dancing motes of light that, like I said, dance and play about luring captives, luring those captivated to their demise. Since 1970, police, volunteers, and journalists do periodic searches of the forest in hopes of finding uh, the remains of those who have used the forest for a quiet place to unalive themselves. By early 2000s, it has become a popular final destination spot for such cases. That's sad. I mean, a, it would be a tranquil place, but to use it as such, just sad and heartbreaking. It's like you just want to get away from the world type of situation. Um, what do you think about that?
I understand. I kind of understand why.
Yeah,
And there's two driving factors to why I understand.
yeah. Um,
Mostly because nature in and of itself is calming to
yes,
be out
that's
there.
correct.
If you're someplace where you can breathe better, where you feel more surrounded by less noise, and that's the best way to describe it, is because our world is very noisy. And if you're planning on doing something, most people either fall into one of two categories. They either want to be right where everyone can see them, or they want to go out and not be found.
Yes, and in this case, oftentimes is they don't want to be found.
And there's a natural inclination to that too, because as you see the same thing in bears, in cats, in dogs,
Any animal,
it
really.
yeah, any animal, it's one extreme or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the bigger ones tend towards the I'm hiding away somewhere when this happens.
Yes.
So
Yeah. 2002, 78 remains were recovered.
yikes.
2003, 105 were recovered. 2010, 54 were recovered, with 200 attempted but survived. After 2010, local officials and law enforcement stopped publicizing the body count in hopes of deterring more from trying, which I can understand and support that readily. But just think about those numbers for a second. 78, 105, 54. That's a lot of life.
Yeah.
Just gone. Um, Drones are also used in an active way to monitor the area for rescue in efforts, for like rescue efforts to see if they can find someone who, is out there by themselves and maybe they can get to them before anything happens. So they are actively attempting to monitor the entire square footage of this forest, not only with law enforcement, but with volunteers, drones, and every means possible because of how this place draws those, people who want to unalive themselves to the location, which is something else altogether as well. It seems to draw people in on a regular basis for this kind of thing, not just to see the scenery, but it draws them in. And there is a superstition or superstitious belief that it might be something to do with the Yore. Um,
Okay.
yes. Let's see here. The periods of time that seem to show more activity in regards to this situation is mid morning and from 9 p.m. to midnight. Whenever traces of attempts have been committed, a barrier line is usually erected to section the area off from visitors until the remains are recovered along with personal belongings. Whenever areas are sectioned off, officials want visitors to be respectful and not enter those areas. Unfortunately, not all listen.
No, people don't.
No, as evident. Um, and will stumble across remain, and those people usually stumble across remains or personal effects. Several contributing factors that lead to people selecting such a place like Aokigahara are as follows: a sense of perfect isolation, unlike the dwelling on, allowing them to dwell on more negative thoughts. Like you were saying, that get away from the noise and attempt to find that peace of quiet. Spiritual beliefs, sacredness of Mount Fuji, ritual Buddhistic unalive practices, and I'm not sure how you say this word, but it's Ubasuet folklore, where they believe that the
I have no clue how to say that.
okay, can I
Sorry.
let me
Go
finish,
ahead.
please? Where some believe that the forest was historically used for, I want to say Ubasut. It's like Ubasute. Practice of abandoning the sick and elderly during hardships to fend for themselves or perish. So if they could no
Oof.
longer afford taking care of the sick and elderly, and it was their only option left, they would take them out and just basically dump them.
Reminds me of Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, which is sad. I'm sorry, but family's family. You shouldn't do that. I know it's an extreme situation, whether it's one or the other, but let's see here. Some people believe the hauntings are of those spirits who are at unrest. When wandering the forest, you might find string or ribbons trailing off in a particular direction. That is because if the person at the other end of it chooses to live and not unalive themselves, they can find their way back out of the forest. I mean, that is a nice thought, but it would also lead rescuers right to you, which hopefully they can get there in time, because all life is valued, you know.
Yeah.
Um, it is unfortunately common to find random articles of clothing, knickknacks, tents, and other things left behind. The most commonly found method in the forest for unaliving oneself is hanging or OD. There is believed to be some.
Okay.
What?
Sorry, I just need a deep breath.
Yeah. There is some demonic activity associated with the forest as well. But most encounters to the are most are due to violent encounters with some of the more vengeful spirits. And spirits are not always seen nor heard. Experiences can vary from time to time. They may not come out and make themselves known. You might have a perfectly decent time walking out there and not have one single occurrence at all. Ogigahara is the most haunted forest in Japan. Here's a picture of it at night.
That definitely gives you that more of enclosed feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you find places where trees are crossed like that, you always want to be superstitious.
Because usually that's a portal or a sign to beware, a
Yeah.
natural forming one.
Well, most times because it doesn't usually form naturally,
Yeah,
but in this forest, there's a lot of that.
where it does form naturally.
Yeah.
Um, the forest is also known to cause disorientation in some people. So some of the people who are more sensitive on the aspect of things may get that sense of dizziness or motion sickness when going there, which can be very, very disorienting. Um, Okigahara has an estimated death count of over 30,000 due to self infliction. That's to date. That is a lot of lives for such a beautiful place.
Yeah.
What do you think about this forest, David?
I'm American. I'm just gonna start by saying that.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear 12-mile forest, it does not seem that big to me.
No, that's 12 square miles.
I know it's 144 total miles, but 12 square miles. It sounds like an awful lot, but I grew up in the backwoods, and I'm used to seeing.
But that's just a small fraction of how big Okigahara
Yeah,
is.
yeah, and considering we're talking about an island that, compared to what we see in the states, is actually not that large. It makes up quite a substantial percentage of the entire area.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I hear that, like, that doesn't sound that big to me because, well, we have a plethora of land here that a lot of countries don't have, and we're a little spoiled by it. Now, the other thing, whenever I'm looking at it, when I'm just seeing it, there's differences between old growth forests and new growth forests. Uh, because every forest, whether you've been around or not, it may look very stationary, it may look very like it's not like there's not a lot happening,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a constant battleground fighting for the light of the sun, trying to get to that floor of the forest. It's why you don't see big fields of grass in forests. You'll see mosses, you'll see lichens, but you don't see a lot of grass because it's got no sunlight.
Yes, because of the
So,
canopies that the trees produce.
yeah, old growth trees are very wide, very sturdy, but whenever they die, it creates this pocket of sunlight. And that's where you get new growth trees. A lot more vines, a lot more uh, fast growing weed like plants.
Mm-hmm.
And they will always beat out any old growth type trees trying to take up that area because they grow much slower. So you get this constant cycle of new growth outpacing the old growth area.
Right.
And this look from the way they all bend, from the way everything is just positioned there, it looks more like a new growth area constantly trying to move. So it's not going to get very big and massive trees, but you're going to get a lot of interconnected trees as they're just trying to do everything they can
Like their
to
their
fight for space.
like their roots are starting to connect.
Oh, that's the other thing. For as dense as this is, uh, if all the roots are connected, that might just be one giant tree in certain places.
It could be because you got to think about it. Volcanic rock is very porous, so it just has to dig through. And tree roots are incredibly strong to the point it can rip up concrete if left to unchecked. It can go through walls. So, what's to say it can't go through porous volcanic rock?
Well, volcanic rock and ash make for a great
Fertilizer
ground, apparently.
makes makes it extremely nutritious for plant life. That's why you see a lot of after it hardens and time passes and the growth begins again, it is very vibrant and green, like
Yeah.
rich. in color, just like it is here. And they maintain that forest very well. They leave it as much in its natural state as possible, but all the walking trails they make sure to keep them nice and clean. Um, they try to make it, you know, accessible to all. Of course, you gotta watch out for the wildlife. And if they have sectioned off areas, again, they ask for respect that you stay out of those areas. There's a reason for it. It's not just because of a potential unaliving, but there might be safety concerns in that area. Because sometimes, over time, volcanic rock can start to collapse if there is a pocket underneath it. So, got to keep that in mind when going to places like this.
Yeah.
Be respectful, be cautious, and try not to go alone. Because the more alone you are out there, the more you feel the isolation. With that in mind,
Okay.
what?
So I just
Just the thought of that?
uh, yeah. The thing is, like, I was gonna say, I know you've got the next part ready and loaded up. I'm waiting for
No, it
us to
just
go to the next part.
it is just. I mean, it's beautiful, and you'd want to enjoy it, but it can really make you think, and then that's when it's believed the supernatural aspect tries to take hold and make you think, start thinking negatively. And that's when it starts luring you in, if it chooses to do that to you. But then again, it could all be, I want to say made up, but exaggerated stories. But if that was the case, then why are there so many of the same tellings over and over again, but from completely different people? Not just, different people, but different ethnicities, different ages, different, everything, and their own personal experiences. This place has been investigated by a number of paranormal uh, um, groups that have had some experiences and encounters, and some that have unfortunately stumbled upon things that should have been, when they went past certain barriers, they ran into it and shouldn't. They wouldn't have if they had been respectful and not gone past the barriers. I'll
Yeah.
just say that. Do you have anything to say before I go into the next part?
What I have to say is there have been many very respectful investigators.
Yes, there
There is a
have.
right way. There's been a right way to do this the entire time,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, one of the first ones who were very well known who went there, he was not respectful. He was uh,
We're not going to
he's one of
mention
the
his
lowest
name.
kind. No, we're not gonna say his name. He doesn't even deserve to have his name spoken, unless it's in a lawsuit.
Uh, he
But
he did end up taking down his video and apologizing though for how disrespectful it was.
yeah, he just, if you're interested in the paranormal, just remember it's not just you.
That.
Your actions reflect on everyone else
Mm-hmm.
who is looking for answers, who's trying to understand and reach out. I understand certain people feel like the world revolves around them, but it doesn't. Don't be the person that causes everyone else to have to suffer.
It's like,
Please.
don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Everyone knows when you use that term, that guy. Again, we want to reiterate this, and we can't reiterate this enough. If you if you are someone if you or someone you know is suffering from or does suffer from mental health crisis, please seek help. You are not alone. There are a lot of resources out there that can help you, even though or through your darkest hours. You just have to hold on and reach out. All lives matter, including your own. Taking it should never be an option, even if you believe there is nothing left for you in this world. Because there is, even when you are feeling at your all time lowest and are hopeless, there's someone out there willing to listen, to help you see the silver lining and the hope at the end of the dark tunnel when you think there is none. Don't give up. You still have plenty to fight and live in for, or life for. You just need some help seeing that. So remember, you are not alone. Reach out to your mental health crisis and, um, I will say it, prevention hotline today. There are free resources for all to use. Active lifelines, there is a list for those in Japan and a list for those in the United States. If you're located somewhere else, you too have active lifelines out there. You just have to do the research and find out what they are and use them. They should be free to use. I know in this case for Japan and the United States it is.
Yeah.
This was a hard episode, I will admit that. I loved the forest. I would love to visit one day just to see how beautiful it is. But just knowing the history makes it shine in a whole different light.
Yeah, this one's a hard one. I know it's also a little bit on the shorter side.
Yes,
Um,
but not by much. Um,
no, not by much.
so again, reach out. If you're feeling down, reach out. Talk to somebody. If you have no one to talk to, use the health crisis hotline. They will help you get and connected to the right people, or if they cannot help you themselves. But there will be someone there for you. Okay? Until
All
next
right.
until next time, please do take care, and we will see you here on a deep look into the paranormal podcast on the 24th for our next episode, which will be, I believe, on Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. So take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Stay safe.